Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video, we are looking at Marvell Technology, and in the case of this chart, we will be focusing strictly on the uptrend that has formed since the April 2025 low, as from a practical point of view, this is all we really need to engage with the structures that would be desirable for trade setups in the continuation of this uptrend, which, by the way, can be expected to go on for quite some time now. So, from this low, I have already a couple of options. Fortunately, it doesn't have much of an impact whether I consider this to have been a double 1-2-1-2 setup, or whether I would consider it to have been a single wave 1 up, right? I would still expect and I would still focus on this as the primary wave 3 to the upside, as I would still be looking for considerable extensions within this pattern. So even once we would have this wave up complete, I would get the wave 4 and the wave 5, and I would build all of this. There would be no impact of which type of setup has been forming in this initial movement to the upside. So that's the fortunate part. We aren't really impacted negatively in any sort of way by that. So we go into the smaller time frame where we have some additional 1-2 setups we can identify in fact here, which allows me to expect even further extensions in the case of this overall wave 3, an internal wave 3. We won't actually go ahead and label everything because I believe that might rather add even more clutter and make it more difficult to understand. So in the case of this structure, whether I have this as a 1-2 setup doesn't even matter much. I am focusing on this being a wave 3 top. Yes, I expect the core wave 3 to have formed a more substantial top, and it's not absolutely necessary, but there is a good chance we have that in. Then I would have this as my wave 4 bottom. So I would be currently looking to form continuation to higher prices within the wave 5 of a larger degree wave 3. But even this wave 5, if I go into a smaller time frame, I can identify that we can expect significant further extensions. So within this structure, I am tracking an impulse. I have this as a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and hold on because I have another 1-2 set up here, possibly another one here, and then this could have been my wave 3 to the upside. Then I would have this as the wave 4 correction, levels from which we expect continuation to higher prices within a wave 5. As I already even have 3 waves complete within this as a wave 4, a quite clear ABC pattern even, we can even assume a bottom to be in actually. We don't need any further extensions. So I believe we might already be forming this 5th wave to the upside. Now, if we get a reset, it's not going to be the end of the world, but we actually must hold the 50% retracement at $251 to still be able to track this idea of an impulse. There is the chance that this structure would instead be building an ending diagonal within the wave 5. I do not really prefer that scenario in any manner, but there is the possibility. So this is an interesting trade setup. This is an interesting pattern to look for opportunities within, as long as this idea of an impulse would still be holding. And one more thing to notice here. Within this wave 3, I believe we could still be looking at extensions to be happening. I'm not 100% convinced that this would have been the 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. No, I believe we actually could be looking at this to have been a 1, 2, 3, and this would have been the wave 4 and the wave 5. This is a valid scenario, and we would actually still be holding the levels of support necessary for such an interpretation. We would have broken them briefly, but nothing that would have to disregard such a scenario. So I'm actually still considering this as a possibility. I do probably prefer that this as a wave 3 has a more substantial top here, but I wanted to highlight that we actually do not need that to be the case, and it might have important implications in the future. But for now, for all intents and purposes, the most important thing I believe we could be doing is to track this area of support for this wave 4. Now, in terms of internal support for this structure, unfortunately, we do not have enough data to get something too reliable. I could theoretically be considering this to have been a wave 1 up and to look for a wave 2 correction that I wouldn't expect to be too deep anyway. So I could offer an internal area of support for such a scenario, for such an expectation that would have to move higher as the price moves higher as well. But just as likely, to be honest, I have to consider the possibility of a double 1-2-1-2 setup that might have actually even already happened with this tiny correction we can maybe identify within the 5-minute time frame here. It's within too small of a time frame to provide the most reliable setup, and by the time this video actually goes live, it might even reach the area of support and already take off, unfortunately. So we will have to focus for now on the larger time frame. We will have to understand that within this structure, even if we do not get an entry within this setup, there will be the next one. Yeah, we would have the larger wave 3 complete then. We would then look for the 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And even once that is done, we can look for the next one. So we would have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So while it is unfortunate to maybe miss this setup, at least we have more clarity in the case of this chart. At least we have a better grasp of our expectations for future setups. And for now, we will stop here. These are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.